I am not familiar with Anne Rice's work, but I gotta tell you, I was super intrigued to see what this series was about. And whoa, was I impressed. And I cannot wait to talk about it. So let's jump into my review of the new series, Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, which is going to be debuting on AMC October 2nd. And yes, you can check it out on AMC Plus the same night, where you can check out 2 episodes. So yes, I am not familiar with Anne Rice's work. I have never heard of the name. I'm just that clueless. So hey, maybe I need to go do some research after this, and that's fine, because for the folks who haven't, I'm telling you that you can get into this and nothing to worry about. Which to me just tells me that the source material must be really good, because the series is amazing. I checked out 5 episodes and there is so much going on. Now, granted, I am over the vampire genre. I think I just had enough. And here I go again with another vampire series that I'm like, hey, let's kind of see what this one's about. Maybe I'm not really over it, right? And it's really good. One, the production's good, the score's fantastic, and then the elements of this just gives you so much mystery. You constantly trying to figure out what's going on, which keeps you invested. And then this love element to it is so pure, so organic, that you really just root for, well, the 2-3 of them possibly. So you have Louis, played by Jacob Anderson, and Lestat, played by Reid, which are 2 vampires in sort of a period piece currently. First off, let's just say in the current time, you have Daniel Molloy, who is interviewing Louis to recount his life as a vampire. So this is happening currently, and you know, they're having a little sit down interview, and Louis is going to be raw to get his true story out there about everything that he's been through, which takes him back to the moment that he was changed with his family, and then, you know, when he met Lestat, who was somebody at one point that was just a little bit of an intruder into his life, to ultimately somebody he kind of became submissive to, his love interest, you know. And then, you know, first off, going back into the early period of this story. Now, when they go back into the 1990s, early 90s, they're in New Orleans, which, as a black man in New Orleans in this time, it was already challenging, yet alone being a gay black man. And then being a vampire, I mean, like, the cakes keep building here. But one, I love the aesthetic of New Orleans, from the costume, the music, the culture, just like the black celebration, and all of that. I love that. I love New Orleans, and I love just anytime anything is set in New Orleans. Then when you add this little horror element to it, it's like the perfect city for it. It really is. So like, I'm overly excited just by that alone. 20 minutes into the first episode, I was already ready to get to the second episode, because when things started to develop, you instantly wanted to know where it was going to go. You knew you weren't going to get it all in the first episode, so you just already like, what's next? And I'm going to tell you that these episodes and how they're built crescendo so damn good. They kind of bring you in kind of soft, kind of open you up, and then things get crazy, and then they just hit you where you least suspect it at the conclusion. Which, by that, I gotta tell you that, man, things are brutal, things are gory, things are unexpected. It gets wild. And the production, as far as the special effects, the costume, makeup design, all of that really bring this vampire, these time periods, they really bring it all to life, that you just instantly gravitate to everything that's happening and the characters, which in this case, as I mentioned, the acting here from Jacob, Sam, and then Bailey Bass, who played Claudia, who also kind of gets involved in all of this as well too. Really just makes things just so unpredictable, so crazy. I mean, they really play their characters. They really bring you, get you invested early, and then you're along for the ride to kind of see how this plays out. Because listen, this love story of immortality, because they're vampires, so they stick around forever. You know, you want to see, you know, exactly, you know, how everything gets to where Louis is at right now. And when you talk about vampires, you know, a lot of the makes of the vampires are very standard in this, but there is some developments that comes about. Louis gaining new powers, Louis understanding sort of just how Lestat and his ability. I mean, we're talking about, you know, yes, we're talking about the need to want to feed, the ability to glamour, and just them being sexual predators. You know, but then there's more. I'm not going to give away that, but there's more. And I think there's just so much to be invested into this that it's really hard to just sit down and just grasp all of it in one sitting. You really got to sit back and just kind of dissect things for one event to the next to kind of just really make what's happening. And it's wow. And I also want to say I love how they handle the slow motion effects, or when they're stopping time, because obviously, you know, vampires have accelerated speed and agility, and so how they handle that I thought was just really dope, a little unique. And then, oh, my favorite part of this is the sound from like the fire, the elements around them, fire, rain, just hearing the blood splatter. Like, the sound is so good in this that it just instantly gives you that extra little chill and oomph that you need in every scene. So I'm really digging this. For 5 episodes I've seen those thus far, I know you all are gonna love this. This is may not be one. I mean, I know that I've heard that they've been talking about this for a long time. So whether you are a hardcore Anne Rice fan or you're somebody that just kind of stumbled upon this, if this may be your new binge, and if you've been anticipating this, then this is definitely your binge. Like, this is done very well. There's a lot of effort into bringing this together. Very solid from up and down the board, from production, acting, the story, which now, again, as I said, means that the source material gotta be damn good, because the script is really good for this, and I'm just really enjoying it. So we're gonna see. You're gonna have to see how Lestat just kind of ambushes Louis' life and all up in his head, and kind of see how this little love thing kind of goes beyond this, you know. And then there's Claudia right there too, that is really gonna take you on one epic ride. So hey, check out Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, debuting on AMC October 2nd. Jump in the comments, folks, let me know your thoughts about it, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.